Hi everyone. Here we are at Crescent phase. It's today the moon moves from new moon phase into crescent. And what I'd like to share today are some of the ways that you can harness this energy and also show up for it in your own life each month. And every month as we practice aligning with the signatures of the moon, we develop our own internal muscles to show up to processes of change in all forms of both inner and outer experience. So every month at crescent phase of the moon, you have a chance to practice and build your muscles around inner confidence and willpower and commitment to asserting your own guidance in terms of overcoming all forms of inertia and resistance wherever they appear. So what happens when the moon comes to a new phase? The first 3.5 days of a new moon are about receiving the impulse and feeling the magic and eagerness and optimism, and allowing yourself to kind of tune to new possibilities and new potentials. And when crescent phase arrives, it's time to start choosing how you'll show up. So I like to work with the energy of 3 for the crescent moon and for the coming 3.5 days. And 3 is about choice. It's about feeling perhaps the past and the present, and then choosing to show up for something new, for a new opportunity. And this comes from inner alignment. The shadow side of crescent phase can be overwhelm or fear that comes from a feeling that perhaps you won't be able to fully show up to what's new. And this has to do with the fact that there is inertia from old forms of momentum, inertia of patterns that are already in motion. And now here we are in a new possibility and new potentials, new frequencies, new gifts. And yet we have old beliefs in our mind, we have old patterns in our body, old habits, we have old emotional responses, and we have old resistance to showing up to new possibility. So this is the time when you can harness the natural frequencies of the sun and moon together to show up to your own patterns of inertia and resistance and overwhelm, and trust the new possibility and new potential. Choose to align within. And so what I'd like to do now is just show you the 3 cards and the 4 threes, and then I invite you to explore these principles yourself, however they appear, through these cards, through oracle cards, through the synchronicities and circumstances of your daily life, through inner messages you receive. These are principles that will help you right now in coming into alignment. So 3 of Wands, virtue, showing up for your own integrity and your own commitment to inner alignment, your inner truth, and trusting your inner truth. And then the 3 of Cups, abundance, is the clarity of what matters to you, choosing to show up for your own appreciation, choosing appreciation of yourself and others. It's called abundance, choosing emotional abundance. This is Mercury and Cancer. It's choosing to show up and perceive and then communicate, even to speak what is important to you emotionally. And then 3 of Swords, sorrow, is a master card of being able to hold the awareness of what has worked and what hasn't worked, what is successful and what has failed. It's holding the awareness of that reality in your strong heart, through the realization that we can create a new story in every moment. We can create a new story. This is the major large sword in the center, the sword of inspiration and truth. We always can write a new story. We never have to be held by the past. And then finally, Three of Discs works. Choosing to act from inner alignment and inner truth, and to create, choosing to show up with the trust that you can create the new forms. This tetrahedron is calling to me right now, and tetrahedron is the structure of all the grids that create, in non-physical, create all physical form. And so what you're doing now is using your imagination, using your spontaneity, using your creativity to show up for your visions and dreams, and take simple actions that can help you step into this momentum. So this is a time of spontaneity, of creativity, of magic, and of choice. Remember that you get to choose your perspective. You get to choose what you focus on. You get to choose the actions that you will take to forge and create new momentum and new possibilities. So have a really fantastic crescent phase, and I look forward to hearing the stories of magic.